Welcome one and all. This is Bloody Seymour talking with my good buddy.
Kuro, how you doing?
We are actually going to do something a little bit different today from previous videos on this channel. We're going to be discussing not only Assassin's Creed Odyssey, as you can see, but also a little bit of philosophy and other things here or there.
Alright, so this is actually one of our many videos that we're going to be doing together. It's a co-op that we're doing discussions, not only his channel, also my channel. I'll leave a description on my channel here if you ever want to catch me doing anything. But yeah, we'll be doing a lot of videos together from now on. Descriptions and links will be below the video, but please just watch the video all the way through. Fair warning, there will be hella spoilers throughout this entire video series, so if you don't want those, just kind of ignore us, because we're gonna be deep diving into this stuff. No endgame stuff, not just yet, but very early stuff. So anyway, so what's kind of your impression on this game so far? Alright, so a little bit of I actually only got to play about 30 hours of this game. My PlayStation died and I had to get a new hard drive, so I lost a lot of my progress. But I mean, this is a beautiful game. It looks beautiful. It plays beautifully. Moving from the hack and slash type that they had to a more RPG oriented was the best idea they had ever had. I think this was a great change for the game. What about you, Bro Seymour?
I honestly, this is my first Assassin's Creed game in quite some time, with the last one I played being Black Flag.
It was a while ago.
Yeah. So I was just like, you know what? It's gonna be set in Greece. It's gonna be very Grecian. Can't speak. Sorry. And I love the entirety of the Greece pantheon, the legends, and everything behind it. So I was like, you know what? Let's go ahead and do it, because that sounds awesome.
Yeah, and I agree with you. The just having the Greek world, you know, everything about. I love it. Everything, especially the time period that they used here.
Oh, it's just
Athenians
perfect.
Versus the Spartans. It's a great time period. It's not the early era of the Greeks, but it's just a good time. I feel like this is a great setting for an Assassin's Creed game. I'm really surprised they didn't do this sooner, but I love it. It's very refreshing, I would say. Alright, well, what are some of the things that you like about the game so far?
So far, it's really just been the world and the characters that they built in this, which is very surprising, especially with some of the previous iterations.
Yeah, especially from a Ubisoft game. They're not really heavy on story. I agree with you. The story is good, but not only that, but the side quests. I feel like that's really the meat of this game. Just all the different characters you can find, all the little quests you find. You know, some of them you just find a dual quest and it turns into so many different quests until you are able to befriend them and have them join your ship. I think that's something that I really like the way that they did it. Yeah, that's pretty much the things that I liked. One of the things that you didn't like, what do you like?
Oh, I'm not even done with the things that I did like.
Okay, well, tell me.
I love the fact that all of the like the original characters for these, like the ones you interact with, the ones you can bring on your ship, or the ones you interact with the most, all have individual character models that you don't see anywhere else in the game. Which, one, you kind of expect from a game like this, but at the same time, you don't always. Unfortunately, there are games out there that just, for whatever reason, think, oh, we have this particular character model, we like it, let's copy and paste it all over the place.
Right. Well, no, I agree with you. Another thing that I liked about the game, and we're actually seeing this, I like how alive the world is. You know, not just you, but you know, earlier when you were fighting one of the animals here, the other one was attacking each other. Were fighting, and you were not part of this. It just happens naturally, and it feels so organic, and it makes the world really feel alive. That's one of the things that I really just like about it. It's refreshing. It just taming the animals. Also another thing that I like about this game. You know, I remember on Fallout 4 that was something that I liked, having dog meat around. It just made it special, you know. Having a companion sometimes that's nice. What are things did you like?
Really, that's kind of everything that I did like about the game. I do like the sailing, the characters, just everything about this game is fun. The problems start showing up when you try to do the fun things, unfortunately. Like, getting on your ship, there every so often, one of my biggest pet peeves for this game is the loading times. Everything from talking to people to accepting quests to just sailing on the open water. Every so often we'll just hit you with a loading screen. Not even really a loading screen, but it'll pause the action while it loads, and that's unacceptable to me. Not for a game like this.
Right, and yeah, I can see that. I feel like they could have done a little bit better with I like that you can get into an island and not have to wait for the loading, but sometimes, especially during crucial times in the story, the game will just take a break and decide to load, and the wait can be quite a bit.
It can be exhausting, that's for sure.
Especially when you're really involved in the story. One thing that I like is the story gets so dramatic and so intense, and you know, having to break the moment for a loading screen just breaks that immersion, that experience you're having right now. I agree with you there. There was an issue with that. Let's see, another issue that I had with the game personally. The combat is really polished, but it's still not there yet.
It's samey. It still feels like a classic Assassin's Creed
level
game.
40 at this time, and I'll tell you, after 10 hours, the game just gets repetitive on the fighting. There's not enough enemy variety. I feel like that they could do a little bit better with that. You'll fight the same people, no matter whether it's the Greeks. I'm sorry, no matter if it's the Athenians or the Spartans or robbers or thieves or anything, or mercenaries, they will have the same fighting moves. There's very few classes, so to speak. So it gets stale after a while. You know, 30 hours.
You can literally parse down the entirety of the classes in this game as whether they have a bow, a shield, a sword and shield, a sword, two swords, a large weapon, whether that be a axe. I don't think many people use staves in this. I think
I assume so. Well, they'll mostly use lances.
Spears.
Spears, yeah.
Yeah, lances. Lances hadn't quite been invented yet in this particular time era.
I don't know. Yeah, that's it. And I just feel like it makes it. You know, yes, there are special bosses that you can fight. There are special, really well crafted scenes where the fighting is just different, but obviously it's all scripted. It's very rare. It's not something that you have every so often. Even with the Cult of Cosmos, you know, when you hunt a lot of them, they'll have the same kind of weapons, the same type of moves, nothing special. And I wish just that variety should have been a little bit more there. You know, they definitely can do a little bit more on that side. Was there anything else that you?
One of the biggest issues I have with this game, that is actually part of the game and not something else, which we'll get into later, microtransactions, just to kind of put a finer point on it, is I have been on several different quests. Random quests. They could be anything from a story quest to a random side quest, and I will be trying to escort somebody, fight a particular person, and someone gets pissed off that I'm fighting them. Whether that be a random NPC, whether that be a mercenary that's hunting me, whether that be an entire group of soldiers, and all of a sudden I'll have a massive bounty on me because I had to fight off random farmer A and random citizen Z, and all of a sudden I'm trying to fight the person I'm supposed to fight for the mission, but someone else is coming in and fighting me. but the person that I'm fighting is a direct enemy to the person that came in to fight me. I'm just like, what is the point of this?
Yeah, that breaks the immersion, and I know exactly what you're talking about.
It has actually caused me to fail 3 different missions because of that.
Yeah, that happened to me. There's a specific mission that I took in a temple, and if I recall correctly, this lady or this girl wanted to marry a really rich guy. Have you done this mission? So she asked you to help her find this witch offers a
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. So this witch offers you to give you a potion. So you find, you do a fetch quest, which, by the way, this is also another problem we'll get into in a second. So you go get the ingredients. The witch does her magic. The girl loses all her hair. So you get in a position where you can avenge.
What the hell? Oh.
You can avenge the girl whose hair got cut off, but in doing so, and if you hurt the husband or the girl, or the husband that she wants to marry, she will get upset and she'll attack you with just breaking the quest. I was so upset about that quest particularly. It just pissed me off so much. But moving from there to just side quests in general, as I talked about earlier, there's a lot of really good side quests. This game did a really good job on the different side quests you can do. Some of them have so much good story. Some of them have lore. So it's a good, but there are some, and a lot of them are just so empty and lifeless. Just a basic fetch quest. Go get me this, go get that. Sure, there are some that have funny dialogue involved, but there are some that are just outright dumb. And that's just something that I wish that they had worked a little bit more on. Obviously, in a game like this that is so big and so massive, you can't really do this. You're gonna run into the same kind of quest once in a while, but just a massive amount of fetch quests that this game has is ridiculous. What do you think, Simar?
Again, it's just one of those things where they really could have added several different missions, and maybe put a different spin on it. Like maybe one requires you to go out and fetch something, but it's in a moving caravan, or something to that effect. But every single time, it's always to a small camp that is led by either bandits or a particular faction, and it's just not interesting after a while.
Yeah, there are some where it's just literally a lady that lives, like a few feet away from them. It feels like it. You just go walk there and give them the stuff. Are you serious? You cannot do that? You cannot walk over there and give them the item that they need? That something is just something
that was a cultist.
Okay, well that's really good.
That was strange. I thought that would have.
She also started attacking you, right?
Yeah. And it's the Amazon Greaves. I've been trying to complete the Amazon set anyway.
Alright, sounds good. So as I was saying earlier, just some quests are funny. I remember one of them that I liked was the lady that liked to have a lot of sex, and her husband couldn't give her any more sex, and she needed just a little bit an extra boost for it. That was such a funny quest. That's the kind of quest, and it was just a fetch quest. That's really what it was.
And it wasn't like the stereotypical fetch quest where it was go get me this, and this. No, you actually had to go out and hunt creatures. You had to hunt bears for their scrotum and deer antlers for some reason. And it was fantastic. It really was.
Yeah, that was such a funny quest, but that's one of the quests that I enjoyed, just because it was so outrageous and so funny. It was enjoyable, to say the least. It was just really enjoyable quest, and that's the kind of quest that I wish they had more of. Not on that side, but just interesting. I remember there was another quest that I found really interesting. Was a girl at the very beginning. you're leaving. She asks you to help her rescue somebody, and you'll have many of these where you can actually ask them to join your party later in the ship. And I love those. I love those because they get you so involved. Even though later on you forget about it, just the fact that you did all this. It's unique. It adds a unique tone to it, even if it's not a major quest or anything.
Yeah. Okay, so not to kind of cut you off there, but just one of the things that kind of bothers me about these games is, unfortunately, certain quests can only be activated once you get to that particular level. Unfortunately, I accidentally ran through this area when I was level 20. It's a level 38 area. I saw this guy being surrounded by wolves. I saw the wolves had little red skulls over their heads. I'm like, I'm leaving. This is now about 20 hours later, and he's like, oh, thanks Zeus, you strode by. And it's like, no.
Yeah, that's one thing that I don't like. I feel like if the game sees you in that area, they should just let you do it. I don't like being blocked off by levels in an area. I understand on a lot of RPGs it happens, but it's really outrageous in this game because one thing that will happen will be you'll pick up higher level weapons that look really cool, and you can't use them for another level or two. It's just a level or two, it's not much. It feels like a level 40 weapon and you were level 20. I understand that's outrageous, but you're level 40 and you pick up a weapon level 41 and you can't use it,
and you just hit level 40, so it's going to be another like 30 minutes before you get there.
Before you get to use that. But speaking of grind, what did you think about this game as far as grind? A lot of YouTubers I heard they were complaining about grind. Did you feel like there was a grind to it? I mean, you're level 40, so.
To be fair, at a certain point, it just didn't feel like a grind. It really didn't. There was a point where I was like, I'm just doing missions because I want to, not because I have to. And I had just happened to be the level that I needed to be for the next level, or for the next story mission. It never felt like a grind. I was just... Now, granted, I'm also playing this game in Explorer mode, which is how it's designed to be played. So everything I do gets me experience, whether I discover a new place, whether I talk to somebody new, anything, and it gives me experience.
Yeah.
So I never really had an issue.
Yeah, I actually didn't have an issue either. I saw so many people, and I was like, what grind are you talking about? I'm level 25, and so far I haven't had grinded once. A lot of people will be like, well, I have to wait until I am level 25 to take this mission. I never had a problem with that.
To be fair, you don't have to be that level to take the mission. That's just a recommended level, so that way you don't get your ass handed to you.
Yeah, well, a lot of people seem to get the idea that they just needed to grind some, and it's really not a grind. It's just a game that is meant to be explored and
this is a game not to be played but to be experienced.
Yeah, and in that aspect they really do hit the point there. I enjoy that, and that's the way the way was. I'm sorry, what I'm saying again. That's the way that the game was meant to be played.
Yes.
Okay. Well, anything else that you wanted to add regarding the issues that you had with the game, or?
Okay, so now I want to get into an issue that I have with the game that is not really about the game and more about what they've done with the microtransactions. So really, other than what you saw of the fast travel, which took quite a while to load, there's not really been a whole lot of loading screens. There've been one really quick one, but nothing overly complicated or time consuming. The problem I have is that from any menu that you're at, whether it be this menu, the main menu, whatever you are at, you have ease of access to the store. No loading screens, it takes you directly to it, and the only loading you see is for the pictures that they are selling you. And it's just, why? Oh, that's a cool one.
And that's the thing is they have
They have
They have
really
things-
cool armor sets.
yeah, you know,
And skins for Phobos and your boat and the people on it. It's just like, why?
I mean, you gotta admit they look really cool. Like, all of them look
this
amazing.
Underworld one, this entire Underworld set, which I'm assuming they released for Halloween, not to date it, but that's kind of where we're at the moment. Like, that's just insane looking. It's cool. But the problem is they don't give you enough of whatever this Helix credit BS is to earn any of this. I got this 200 right when I started the game, and I have not used it since. And you'll notice, nothing in here is worth less than 250. Okay, fine, they give you a sword for
Yeah,
150,
that
or a
sword's a sword,
spear for 200, and it's like, why bother when all the good stuff, this legendary stuff, is at least 250?
Yeah, I agree with you. I certainly had an issue with it too. It wasn't as much as a big deal for me that is for you. I usually I play offline most of the time. I don't like being bothered by notifications, so that's
even these figureheads, 250 all across the board. The sales and the themes, no, you can have that for nothing. But like the good stuff that actually makes your ship and everything look imposing, like at least 250, if not more.
Yeah, frankly, these microtransactions things are getting a little bit out of hand there.
Like,
in this kind of game, you know, a single
it's funny
player
that they
game-
do give you these two as a reward for getting certain like levels into the game. So like that's interesting at the very least that they give you some stuff for actually completing their game. But this right here, time savers. This is the biggest pile of BS in any game. There is no reason that you should have to sell in-game stuff. Like, it's all of this is nothing. You can find all of this stuff in-game,
and it's not even hard to find. It's really easy to find. It's not,
they are selling it to you.
and it's not even cheap either. You know, like, look at the 2000 price range, the large pack right there.
Yeah.
That 2000H. Look at how much you have to pay for 2000H.
For 2,400.
We're talking
And that's
about
a
you're gonna
bonus.
spend $20 to save time. When the game is how much? $60 if you buy the basic edition. Maybe a little bit cheaper now that you can buy it used.
It's just mean. It really is. Like there's no other way to really explain it other than the fact that it's just mean. There's no reason that any game should ever be like this. None.
And this is only a single player game. You know, you can imagine how much worse this is for a multiplayer game.
I couldn't stand it. Like, that would be a legitimate pay-to-win situation.
Yeah, especially
this
in a game like this, because the game, I mean, the balance is already broken within the game because of those weapons. The weapons do damage. It's not just a skin either. If it was a skin, I don't think it will be much of a big deal. But these are not skins. These are armor and weapons that do more damage, and yeah, that's just terrible.
Yeah, and that was really my only real big issue with the game itself was the loading times and obviously the microtransactions. Nobody likes microtransactions. There are people that take advantage of them to just get through the game a little bit quicker. I enjoy experiencing a game. I love story. I love characters. I love seeing the world that these developers put so much time, love, and effort into, and then it's immediately ruined by overzealous companies trying to make a quick buck. Alright, and we'll see you in the next video. See you guys later.